Hello. Hi, my name is Shimmy Shiba, and this is Chris Rhodes. Hey, Chris.
Hey, Shimmy.
How are you?
Doing well. It's beautiful out today. It's really nice. So
It
that
is
always helps.
out. Yeah. Thanks so much for meeting with me today. I wanted to talk a little bit about like how we met and how long we've known each other and stuff. Do you remember how long it's been?
It's been a long time. So we met in 1999. Yeah, we met in 1999. So it's been 21 years.
That's a long time.
That's ridiculous. We met last century, basically.
That's right. Awesome. And we're so young still, but
Of course, always.
so
Look at the faces.
and we met. You want to say where we had met? Like,
So I graduated high school in 1999, and I immediately started working at a hair salon that my sister used to get her hair done at. And you were a stylist there. So I started as a receptionist, and we were both there for a number of years, and we just clicked and connected right away. And, we were very young at the time, and it just, yeah, you're like, from that work experience, I've kept in touch with only one other person, but you're the only person I see on a regular basis from.
that's cool. And it helps that we live like maybe 3 blocks.
4 blocks, yeah.
So
How
that's
wild.
difference, right?
Yeah.
That's right. I see you sometimes walking when I'm looking out my window.
That was you. Got it. Okay. I felt the eyes, but I wasn't sure.
That's it. So Chris, I wanted to ask you a little bit about what you've been doing these days for work and what you've been up to.
So I just launched my own business at the beginning of June. And it is a thing that kind of came out of the blue. The spark hit and I had to run with it. So I finished up what I was previously doing for work, and I created a business that's really around modern mysticism. And I work, just myself. I work, I don't have any employees, but I work with my clients and I teach workshops. I work individually for reading sessions, for healing sessions. It's all one-on-one with some workshops and some weekend intensives. So it's been great. I had kind of built a following, and most of them are in touch and have continued with me. And so it's a really nice, fresh beginning, and I'm excited to just working on building my audience right now and adding in more elements to what I'm providing for them.
And when you say reading, like, will you tell us kind of what do you mean by like reading?
So I'm trained as a clairvoyant, which is someone who sees energy, but I've been empathic my entire life, and I've always had other ways of picking up on energy and reading energy in a sense. But I trained for a number of years as a clairvoyant, and I ended up teaching clairvoyance. So that's what I excel in. My readings are clairvoyant based, but they do kind of move into some other arenas, including intuition, empath, and even a little bit of astrology. So the reading is really more kind of, it's a little bit panpsychic in a sense that I do pull from a number of different areas for the readings, but they're mainly, the base of them is clairvoyance.
That's really cool. And what's your clientele like? I mean, is it like a pretty big variety or?
It's a variety. I have some people from all over the world, a lot of professionals, a lot of people who, who see me for their professional work life, their career, people that are in transitions. Really, the people that I have are looking for an insight. They're looking for what they can't see. They're not looking for future answers. They're not looking for their fortune told. They're not looking for me to provide answers. They're looking for someone to give insight to what they're doing, where their energy is, and how they can navigate their next steps. So what I do is I look at the energy with my clairvoyance, and I paint a picture for them, the bigger picture of where I see them in everything that's happening in all the energy. And I could even look back to see the origin of an energy, where they picked it up, how it's affected their lives. So my clients are people who are a little bit in tune with themselves. They're people who are interested in learning more on the inside. They're people who are trying to improve their lives and do better for themselves. I don't really have many clients who don't like change, clients who try to kind of avoid being with themselves. I tend to not attract many clients that way. It's more people that are looking to improve that quality of themselves.
That makes sense. Yeah, because it seems like now there's like this whole popularity around astrology again, like a resurgence of that,
Yeah,
tarot.
absolutely. And there's a popularity around it, which is really great. It's always great to kind of get more ears and eyes to this work. But it's funny, in the popularity of it, you really see that there's a core group of people that are really willing to go where it takes you. And I know that, you and we've been studying and kind of talking about astrology basically since 2000, 2001.
I feel like you
And
really got me into it, when we met.
yeah, yeah, you were around right when I was learning so much about it. And and isn't it a thing that it does shape some things, and it does take something to really look at yourself these ways and take accountability and responsibility. And it's empowering, I think.
It is
That's
definitely.
my goal with all my clients, is I want them to feel empowered. I don't want them to feel like I'm the one with the answer. They have it.
That
I
makes,
just kind of help them get there.
it's almost you're kind of like a spiritual life coach, something where you guide people.
Spiritual something.
Your label, because I think it's now in the mental health field, just from talking to different people, it seems like there's a there's kind of like a proactiveness too. It's no longer just
Yes.
one thing.
And that's what even if it's teaching a workshop or whatever it is, I always follow it up with all the things that you can do now that my time with you is over, all the things that you can do to keep this energy moving, to keep the improvement happening, and to take yourself to the next level.
That's cool. Yeah, it seems like people do need tools, right? Like
Absolutely.
you get dependent on one thing.
People they want to save themselves. They want to be their own heroes. People want to, be able to take credit for big life changes that they go through, and they should.
Yeah, it makes sense. And sometimes it seems like it takes almost like bad things to happen for someone to either wake up or decide they want to take action.
A lot of times that's what happens. I think that as a people, we are addicted to comfort. We're addicted to the familiar. And so sometimes we sit in comfort and familiar for a little bit longer than we need to. We like to preserve everything. We have refrigerators. We like to keep things for longer than they may, than maybe that they ought to be kept. Mementos, X's, clothes, everything. And so it does usually take something happening for someone to realize that life moved on, and in some ways maybe they should have been moving on the entire time.
That's true. Have you noticed, just the last question, have you noticed that since this like pandemic that's happened this year, do you feel like your clientele has grown, or have you noticed like a shift?
Well, that's a hard question, because I launched right in the beginning of June, which was, I think, around one of the spikes of COVID. So because it's a new business and I wasn't able to get the word out to everyone, I can't really gauge, how the pandemic is affecting, because it's only been around during the pandemic. What I will say is that the clients that I have hear me so much better during this pandemic, because a lot of the distractions have been taken away. And they're actually in their home, they're in their space, and they are more real with themselves than they have been. Some clients I've been seeing for years. And so they hear me better, they're taking these things more to heart, and they're actually, seems like there's a more hope for them, because this pandemic has carved out a space for change to happen. I say, like, anytime there's a wound, it's an opportunity to heal. And I feel that a lot of my clients that I have, there's this big wound in the world right now, and a lot of them, I'm encouraging them to see this as an opportunity to heal. And a lot of them are taking that to heart.
That's really wonderful, Chris. Thank you so much for sharing all this great info. And thank you for meeting with me. This was
Anytime, Shimmy.
Thank you.
Yep. Bye-bye.